All right, welcome to another Witchpolice Quick Hit. These are short interviews I'm doing with people in an attempt to kind of broaden my understanding of the local music scene. You know, I've been doing this for a long time, and I've talked to a lot of different artists, but it seems like every day, every week, I hear about new people who are new bands, new solo artists, new rappers, new DJs, new everything. Like Winnipeg has and Manitoba is such a deep and rich music scene that I want to try and get into as much as I can. So this is just an opportunity to reach out to more people. So I think the best way to start this off is if you want to introduce yourself and just give a bit of background about what you do musically.
Yeah, so hi everyone. My name is Trista Shay. I'm really happy to be here, and thanks Witchpolice Radio for having me. So I'm a Saskatchewan prairie girl, born and raised, and only in the last, maybe 5 years, I started to go on this kind of singer-songwriter folk endeavor after having played and competed in classical piano pretty much my entire life. And so the whole realm of songwriting is really new to me, or was new to me. And, in the past year or two, I found more of my niche and my genre and my vibe. And so I'm really excited. I'm just really getting started and really excited to start recording, creating an EP, and sharing it with everyone. So yeah,
Cool.
I'd say that's me.
What do you think? I mean, I know you just said you're sort of starting to figure out what your vibe is. What do you think that is? Like, I mean, as far as when you listen to your stuff, when you write a song, what style would you call it? I mean, I know singer-songwriter is such a vague kind of umbrella term, and it can mean so many different things. Do you have sort of a grasp on like if someone says, "Hey, I hear you're playing music now," how do you explain it to them? Do you have a quick version of that?
Oh yeah, people like the things where you can say a word and it's like, I kind of get
You
this
want to file
idea.
it in your head, right? Yeah.
Yeah, right. It's like I know that box. So my box, I'd say, is indie folk.
Okay.
Yeah, which, so as you know, as a singer-songwriter, like when I was just on piano and just singing, so it's kind of like been this evolution into indie folk.
Okay, that's cool. One of the things that I noticed, like that you're in a genre, we folk as a larger genre, where there are so many people doing it, and I imagine it's hard to get your name out there and get the word out there about you because we're in an era where you can record an EP or an album or a single in your bedroom with an acoustic guitar and put it online, and so there's so many people doing similar thing to what you're doing. But one thing that struck me listening to some of your music that's online is you have a very distinct voice, and I'm not sure where that singing style comes from, but it seems very you seem very able to kind of put across emotion with the way that you sing. So what is your vocal background like? Where did that voice come from? Because it sounds very different than when you talk. Just having this conversation with you now, it's something very unique. So where does that come from?
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. It's a compliment. I don't know where my singing voice really comes from. I've sang my entire life, just, like in the shower, like I think most people do secretly. And, in the past year or two, I've really worked to like strengthen it, but always wanted to convey like this like soft quality. I don't know exactly, but I feel very fortunate to have a voice that's, my own.
Yeah. Are there certain artists that you kind of when you started singing that you modeled after, or is it just this wholly original thing that came fully formed?
There's definitely like a voice that not a voice that I use, but like there's a certain quality that I like and I always want to keep. But when I first started, and it was just literally me and the piano, like a singer-songwriter, people like Ingrid Michaelson, or even like Jack Johnson, or I don't know, Regina Spektor.
Okay.
That's who I was thinking. And then I feel like now, as I've become more comfortable in my voice and my music, it's also maybe gotten a little bit jazzy quality, or like a little bit. I really like Charlotte Cardin. I think she's from Quebec, and yeah.
So how long has it actually been since you've been doing this solo thing? Because I mean, I know it's a very like you said, you're fairly new at this, right?
Yeah. Honestly, it's like I'd say seriously, as a solo musician, I want to say I'm just getting started. Like, I've done some music and stuff in the past, but I feel like I really have a grasp on what I want and what I want to hear and what I really, really want to share with people. So I've been playing a few festivals and stuff in the past few years, but I mean, it's hard now in COVID
Of course, yeah, yeah.
to really like get started. But yeah, I started songwriting probably 4 or 5 years ago,
Okay.
just trying to find a sound, and now I think I found it. So
Cool. Well, that's good. It's good. It's good that you've got a grasp on what you want to do, right? Yeah.
Woohoo!
Well, maybe just to go back to what you said about COVID. I mean, I'm almost sick of asking every artist I talk to about COVID. But how has this affected you? As a relatively new artist. I mean, you want to get your name out there. You want people to hear your music. You want to be able to record and release things. What has this situation been like for you in terms of just being able to do what you want to do as a musician?
The like creatively, it has its ebbs and flows. I think like anybody, you kind of have parts where you're a little bit more excited, a little bit
Yeah.
more like, writing a bit more, and then parts where it doesn't go and you have nothing to really propel you forward or look forward to. You have, less gigs.
Yeah.
But it's also been kind of nice because, I've been able to have a schedule that allowed me for vocal lessons and to sit down with like my music and to plan out what I want. And I will be doing some recording like this summer.
Cool.
So and with recording studios and stuff being closed, it's been okay. Yeah, it's been okay.
Have you been able to write during this period, or because a lot of people I've talked to have been completely blocked? It seems like, oh, I have all this time now, and then just nothing comes out. How has your creativity been during this time period?
It's been good. I've found that structure helps with my creativity lately.
Okay.
So, blocking out that time and almost like setting myself, like giving myself that routine helps me, because or else I just kind of get in a funk and I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, but no, it's been good, and I'm kind of an eternal optimist. So I'm always the half this glass empty, silver lining kind of person.
yeah.
And so, I always try to find that in every day, really.
Cool. I was looking at your website. I tend to do like a minimal amount of research on everyone I interview. Try not to get too deep into it sometimes, but I noticed you have a thing on there where you're raising funds for I think it was Silo Mission. So what's the background behind that? It's a very cool idea to donate money from merch and things to a good cause like that.
Yeah, I really believe that we can do more things when we do things together. And so I've always felt very passionate about when I was, starting music and starting everything, that 10% of the proceeds would go to helping the community. Because, if I get to do something I love and to give back, it's just so special. And I think it just makes I'm better for it and other people are better for it. And to give people an opportunity to contribute in that way, I think is really nice.
It's kind of a cool thing to do too, especially because, like you said, you're just getting started. A lot of people maybe wouldn't do that until they've already well established, and but it's cool that from the get go that you're trying to do something charitable like that. It's nice to see.
Yeah, I really value it. And I recently heard like last week, it was like, if you don't give 10 cents from every dollar, you're never going to give, like 100,000 of from a million, or
Right, right.
anything like that. So I think it does start small, and yeah.
Awesome. Well, where can people find your music? I mean, I'm assuming there's probably a lot of people listening who this might be their first exposure to you. So what's the best option to, track down what you have recorded, what you have coming out, and then hopefully, you'll have some shows coming up too. So where can people find that information?
Yeah, so I'm pretty much on. Well, I'm on all social media. Instagram's probably my favorite. It's at Trista Shay Music is my Instagram. You could also find more about me on my website, tristashay.com. And I do have a demo that was actually the first song I ever wrote on Spotify.
Oh, really?
The first song I ever wrote, yeah. But just the demo, but really expect more, late this summer, early fall from me.
Cool. And then you have a website. What's the website address?
TristaShay.com. And that's Trista with a T. I know everyone, is on their computer, but everyone always thinks Krista or Tristan, but Trista with a T.
Right on.